begin to take a few deep, even breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. With each inhale, feel a sensation of lengthening in your spine. And with the exhale, feel softness in your body. Moving into child's pose. As you come into child's pose, open your knees wide, allow your big toes to touch as you bring your hips back towards your heels and extend your arms. Moving into your hips so you can begin to notice any restrictions in your body. Walking your hands over to the right side of your mat, placing your left hand on top of your right hand, still drawing your hips towards your heels to begin to feel lengthening in the left side of your body. With each inhale, feel lengthening in your rib cage or space between your rib cage. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mat, placing your right hand on top of your left hand. Drawing your hips towards your heels, lengthening with each inhale into your rib cage. Walking your hands back to the front of your mat, back to child's pose. With your next inhale, come into all fours. Begin to take your shoulders past your wrists and exhale back to child's pose. Inhale forward, shoulders past wrists, and exhale, child's pose. One more, inhale, exhale. With your next inhale, stay here. Spread fingers wide and just begin to make circles with your hips. It's like you're drawing a circle on your mat so that way you can start to get into your wrists. Take the circles in the other direction. Turn your fingers to the lateral edge of your mat, shift side to side. Turn your fingers towards your knees, turning towards the thumb side of your hands as you shift forward and back. Stay back, feeling that stretch in your forearms. Shoulders away from the ears, lengthen into your low back. Shift forward, curl your toes under, and you can bring your knees close together or keep them hip distance apart. Sit back onto your heels, interlace your fingers as we stretch out our toes and wrists. Interlace fingers and make circles at your wrists. Take the circles in the other direction. Spread your fingers wide. Bring your thumb in towards your palms, thumbs or fingers over your thumbs, and just flex into the wrist. And you'll begin to feel this maybe on the back of your forearms. Good. Come back to all fours. Shake out your toes. And then curl your toes under, sit back onto your heels. Shift your weight forward, plantar flex. Shift hips forward, and then dorsiflex. So we're going from flexion and pointing into your ankles and your toes. Next time your feet are in dorsiflexion, hands to the mat, and push back into Malasana. Maybe the heels touch the floor, maybe they don't. And then shift forward, knees to the mat, and point. Shift forward, curl toes under, shift hips back. Shift forward, point your toes, and shift hips back. So we're just moving from moving forward, flexing, then Malasana, then shifting forward, pointing back. Next time you're forward, stay forward and come into Malasana. For this Malasana, lift your heels off the floor, chest up. Come all the way up to standing, shake it out. Bounce a little bit. Begin to bounce into your feet, your knees, your hips, your shoulders. Just to wake up your body. Swing side to side. Keeping your knees bent. So just a quick little routine to wake up in the morning, to wake up your body, to get everything moving. Come back to stillness, open arms wide, and hug in. Good, just shake it out, move your hips side to side. Move to the top of your mat, and we're going to go for a classic sun A. So either bring your feet together or feet slightly apart. Inhale, arms up, shoulders down. Exhale, fold forward, have a slight bend in your knees. Let your belly and thighs touch. For this first forward fold, move your hips side to side just to notice any restrictions in your body. If you have tight hamstrings, really bend your knees. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step your right leg back. Bring your knee to the mat. Point your toes. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor and step back to plank. 8 points, knees. Toes stay curled under. Chest, bring your chest between your thumbs and chin to the floor. Inhale, cobra, taking chest forward, knees back. Exhale, down dog. Bend your knees very slightly to get length into your low back. Bring your knees to the mat. Step your right foot forward. So maybe you have to lift your right hand to step your foot forward. Allow your hips to dip low. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor and step to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise, long spine. Exhale, release your arms down to the side. Inhale, arms up, go for a mini small back bend, taking hips forward, chest going up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward, softness in your knees. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen to your spine. Exhale, step your left leg back, bring your knee to the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank, spread fingers wide. 8 points, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra, chest forward, knees back. Exhale, down dog. Bring your knees to the mat. Step your left leg forward. Allow your hips to dip low and inhale, lift arms out. Exhale, hands to the floor and step to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise, long spine. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Release your arms down to the side. Inhale, arms up. Interlace fingers, palms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold to the side, leaning to the right. Let your hips go to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the other side. So we're creating a space onto the side body. And with each inhale, breathe into the rib cage. Feel this expansion. Inhale, back to center. Lean your hips forward and slightly lean back. Exhale, fold forward. Bringing your feet either hip distance apart, or you can bring them a little bit closer. And then sit your hips low, let your heels come up, hands onto your thighs. Deep breaths. So we always want to be very mindful of what's going on with the spine, so lengthen into your spine. It's like you're taking your rib cage away from the waist to get long in your spine and shoulders down. So perhaps you have to place your hands onto the floor or onto a block. As you bring your knees down, keep your toes curled under. So we've been here before. Point your toes, feet onto the floor. Take your hands behind you. So perhaps you can stay here and just bend the elbows, or maybe you can bring your forearms to the floor. Chest up. As long as you can keep your knees to the floor, you can maybe bring your head to the floor, but keep your knees on the floor. 2 more deep inhales. If you have your head and shoulders to the floor, come back onto your forearms first. Press your hands into the floor with bent elbows. And then walk your hands forward. Hands onto the floor, curl your toes under, sit your hips back, and come into Malasana. Feet to the floor, chest up. Let your index fingers touch the floor. Take your legs straight up. And then as you shift back, bring your weight to your heels. 10 times. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay in your forward fold. Move your hips side to side. Coming into a wide leg forward fold, open your legs wide. And just moving your hips. You can even make a figure 8 with your hips as you go side to side. Stay in the center. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, deepen your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Walk your hands over to the right side or your right foot. Turn your left foot in and step in slightly so your feet aren't so far, maybe 2 or 3 feet distance. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Lift halfway. And then walk your hands over to the left foot. Pyramid. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. You can move your hips so that way you can see what's going on, where you feel tightness in your body. Inhale halfway, walk your hands back to center. Lift halfway, cross your right foot in front of left. Now you can always place your hands onto blocks if you need to. Just kind of move the hips. On my right foot, I like to kind of be on the ball of the foot so I can really begin to feel this into my left hip. Let your hips dip over towards the left. Inhale, come all the way up. Grab onto your right wrist. And exhale, lean your torso to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the floor. And then switch left in front of right. Come into your forward fold. Stay here for a few breaths. With your inhale breath, come all the way up. Grab onto your left wrist and lean over towards the right. Inhale back to center and exhale, fold forward. Uncross your legs. Down dog split. You're going to lift your right leg up. So it's early in the morning. You don't have to go all out. Now, if you're in the evening, maybe you're going all out. But you don't have to lift your right leg too high. As you exhale, bring the right leg down. Relax your right glute. And then inhale, lift your right leg and squeeze your right glute. Exhale, leg down. Inhale, leg up, squeeze your right glute. Exhale, down. Last one, lift up and squeeze your glute. Step your right leg into a low lunge. Bring your right knee to the mat. Allow your hips to dip low. Bring your hands to the inside of the foot, hips low. Point your back toe. With your left foot that's in front, turn the foot out. Bring your hand onto your thigh and rotate your chest up towards the ceiling. It's like you're trying to bring traction, like you're trying to take that bone out of the hip as you rotate chest out. Bring your hands back to the floor. Lift your right knee off the floor. With your right foot, rotate onto the little toe side of the foot. With your left foot is still turned out, and allow your hips to dip low. Don't allow your shoulder to just get in towards your ear, getting length into the shoulder. So shoulders away from your ears. Bring your hands back to the floor. Turn your back heel up. Straighten your left leg as you bring your torso back to the center of your mat. And then start to bend your right knee. So perhaps you bend your right knee and keep your left foot on the floor. Or you go a little bit deeper and the left toes can go up towards the ceiling. Straighten your right leg. Come back to center. Shift hip side to side. Inhale, lift halfway. Walk your hands over towards your right foot. Lift your left leg, standing split. Release the leg down to the floor. Relax your left glute. And lift the leg up. So when the leg comes down, you relax the left glute. And then you lift the leg up and squeeze the glute. One more. Stay here. Step back to your low lunge. Bring your knee to the mat. With your right foot, turn the foot out. Right hand onto your thigh. Let me turn this way so you can see me. And then you rotate your chest up. Shoulders away from the ears. Bring your hands back to the inside of your foot. Lift your left knee off the mat. Rotate onto the little toe side of the foot. With your right foot, you turn out a little bit more and allow your hips to dip low. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me. And chest up. Bring your hands to the floor. Lift the back knee off the mat. Straighten your front leg. And then walking your torso back to the center of your mat. Move your hips side to side. Walk your hands over towards the left foot. Bring your knee to the mat. With your front foot, your left foot, begin to take it towards your right wrist. Have a seat on your left hip as you come into deer pose. So deer pose, we're at a 90 degree with both legs. Inhale, lift heart. And lift your hip. And exhale, take the hip down. Inhale, going forward. And exhale, down. Chest is up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, stay here. Walk your hands forward. You can come down onto your forearms. If you can go further, go for it. But keep length in your spine. So you keep length in your spine by drawing your chest towards the front of your mat or towards your shin. With your right foot, lift the foot up and take it down 10 times. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Good. And then slowly come up. Take your hands behind you. Let the knees go side to side. Take your right knee down and walk your hands towards your right shin. And we just go for that little hip movement. We take the hip back, and then you come back onto the front hip. So it's like you sit back onto your back hip, and then you take the front hip down. Next time your front hip is down, inhale, lift chest. Exhale, walk hands forward. Deep breaths. We focus on those deep inhales. Now with your back foot, lift up and down 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, good, 10. Inhale, rise. Hands behind you. Let the knees go side to side. Bring the soles of your feet together. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, lead with your chest as you take chest forward. So maybe you don't go down as deep. And perhaps you're one of those people that can bring your knees down. That's cool. Or if you're like me and you can't, that's cool too. As we're focusing on our breath. Slowly come up. Take your legs forward, shake it out, and make your way onto your back. One more pose before we finish our quick little sequence. With your inhale breath, lift your right leg up. Lead it with your heel, so keep the foot dorsiflexed. And exhale, take the leg over towards the left. Still leading with your heel, trying to keep both shoulder blades on the floor. Inhale back to center. Grab onto your right shin with your right hand, or maybe both hands. Take a deep inhale. With your exhale, bring your shin closer towards your chest. And release. Inhale, left leg up. Notice the difference between your left and right hamstring. So you might feel that one is tighter than the other. Inhale. Exhale, take the leg over towards the right. Keeping your shoulder blades on the floor, deepen your breath. Inhale, bring the leg back to center. Grab onto your shin with one or both hands. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bringing your shin closer towards your chest. Still dorsiflexion in your feet. And release into Shavasana. With your eyes closed, take this moment to take a few deep, even breaths. So this might be the only practice you do today, or might just be a warm-up. You are more than welcome, of course, to stay in Shavasana. We've moved into all our joints. I hope that you got everything you needed from this short practice. Be blessed. The light in me bows to the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.